for the audiobook series, Mysterious Bookstore. Before you start listening, don't forget to like, follow, hit the bell icon, and share to show your support. Thank you. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 1, Encountering the Mysterious Bookstore. Noah, a 17-year-old boy, is wearing his favorite graphic tee and his trusty pair of jeans. He walks down a narrow alley he's never seen before in his hometown. Noah is fascinated by books and exploring new places. This weekend, he's eager to discover something new. Today, he's decided to explore unfamiliar streets. As Noah walks through the unfamiliar alley, he feels a thrill of excitement. The alley is shaded by tall buildings on either side. Occasionally, sunlight filters through the spaces between the buildings, casting long shadows on the ground. A gentle breeze makes the atmosphere more mysterious, heightening his curiosity. Noah stops at the mouth of the alley. His eyes are drawn to an old wooden sign that reads, "Mysterious Bookstore." The name immediately grabs his attention. He's never seen anything like it before, and it seems like a charming and enigmatic place. Looking at the bookstore, Noah sees it resembles an old building covered in green vines. The windows are filled with old books that seem to tell stories from the past. Occasionally, the sunlight streaming through the glass makes the books shimmer. He feels like this is a well of secrets waiting to be explored. Noah thinks to himself that this might be a great opportunity to discover something new. He pushes open the door. The ding of the bell makes him feel like he's starting a new adventure. The sound of the bell creates a welcoming feeling and signals the beginning of something new. As he steps inside, he's greeted by the scent of old paper and a faint hint of perfume, making him feel as though he's entered a new world full of discovery and mystery. The owner of the store, an elderly man in glasses and a long black coat, emerges from behind the counter. He appears calm and pleasant. The smile on his face conveys warmth and reassurance. The store owner smiles genuinely at Noah and says, "Welcome." His voice is gentle and polite. "Hello, young man." "Hello," Noah replies with curiosity and interest. "I've never seen a bookstore like this before. It looks really intriguing." He speaks with excitement that he can't hide, as he's never encountered such a unique and mysterious bookstore. "This is a very special bookstore," the owner says with a smile. His smile shows pride in what he has. "We don't sell ordinary books. We sell books that are alive." He emphasizes the special nature of this bookstore. Noah is thrilled and starts to explore the store. He sees many books arranged on high shelves. Some have covers that sparkle, while others have designs that seem almost alive. The variety and beauty of the book designs are striking. He moves along the shelves, picking up some books to look at, but he doesn't find anything particularly special yet. Although all the books are charming and interesting, he feels there must be something more special hidden here. "It seems there are many types of books," Noah says with a smile. He feels like he's exploring a world full of mystery and challenges. "These books look like they have many stories." He speaks with a sense of discovery. "Indeed," the owner replies, "but there is one book that's more special than the others." He smiles with a hint of secrecy, knowing that this book will excite Noah even more. The owner picks a book from the shelf and hands it to Noah. It's a book with a golden cover and intricate patterns. The golden cover reflects the dim light in the store, making it look mysteriously enchanting. Noah feels that this book holds something important and special. He knows it might be the key to uncovering new things. "This book is called The Secret World of the Garden," the owner explains. "When you open this book, you'll be drawn into its world, and your adventure will begin there." The owner speaks with confidence and intrigue, knowing that this book will lead Noah to an unexpected adventure. Noah looks at the book with interest and excitement. "Is that true? Can I try opening it?" he asks with hopeful curiosity. He feels that opening this book might be the start of a new adventure. "Give it a try," the owner says with a smile. He's happy to let Noah try opening the book. But be prepared for what you might encounter. He warns Noah that the adventure might bring challenges and unexpected surprises. Noah opens the book, and suddenly, he feels like he's being pulled into it. His sense of reality starts to fade, and he finds himself in a new place he's never seen before. This world is full of vibrant colors and beautiful scenery, but he knows he must do something to find his way back. Excitement and fear mix together, driving him to seek answers. Where am I? Noah asks himself as he looks around for answers. He will encounter a garden full of secrets and challenges waiting for him. The story within the book will lead him to explore mysteries and exciting events in the secret world of the garden, where his adventure will begin amid the intrigue and excitement he must uncover. Noah needs to prepare for an adventure full of challenges, mysteries, and new discoveries. He must use his courage and creativity to uncover the hidden truths in this secret world and make his adventure a memorable experience. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 2, The Secret Garden. Noah walked into the garden, which had a peaceful and mysterious atmosphere. The beauty of the garden took his breath away. This garden was completely different from what he was used to. Tall trees stood in neat rows, and the leaves sparkled like stars in the sunlight. Flowers of various colors reflected light, giving the garden a unique charm and sense of mystery. The water flowing through the garden stream was icy cold. Amid the sound of water flowing over stones and gravel, the birds' songs created a serene and captivating atmosphere. Noah felt a sense of tranquility and refreshment being in this garden. As he continued walking, Noah met a young woman with long golden hair and an elegant dress. Lucia smiled at him and said, "Hello, I'm Lucia. Welcome to this garden." Noah looked around and saw other people enjoying various activities, such as tending to flowers, strolling, and chatting cheerfully. "This garden is beautiful," Noah said. "But is there a secret I should know about it?" Lucia smiled and replied, "This garden holds mysteries and beauty unlike any other. We are here to maintain and preserve the balance of nature. I live in the castle at the heart of the garden and play a role in keeping its beauty and peace." "A castle?" Noah asked. "Where is it?" "Follow me," Lucia said. "I'll take you there." As Noah and Lucia walked to the castle, he noticed the exquisite and detailed construction. The castle's large doors were made of intricately carved wood, and its walls were built from colorful stones that matched the beauty of the surrounding garden. "This castle has a long history," Lucia explained. "It was built to be the center of the garden, and is crucial for maintaining its beauty and balance." Entering the castle, Noah found a large library filled with ancient books and scrolls. The library featured a large wooden table stacked with various books, and its decor was both luxurious and orderly. "This is the castle's library," Lucia said. "We have books and scrolls containing information about the garden's history and mysteries, as well as details about important cities." Noah walked to the wooden table and opened a book. He found maps depicting different cities, such as the underground city, the floating city, and the city deep in the sea. "These books contain information about the cities you need to explore," Lucia explained. "They provide details about the places you need to discover and serve as guides for your journey." As Noah examined the books, Lucia introduced him to a crystal ball. This crystal ball had the ability to predict future events and display significant images for those seeking guidance. The crystal ball was a clear sphere floating in midair, emitting a beautiful light and creating clear images. Lucia explained, "The crystal ball doesn't speak but shows images related to the future. It can help us make better decisions." Noah looked at the crystal ball and saw images of the cities he needed to explore. The crystal ball began showing images of the underground city, the floating city, and the city deep in the sea, along with important advice. You need to visit these cities to uncover important information. The crystal ball revealed. The underground city, the floating city, and the city deep in the sea each hold secrets you must discover. Preparing for a meal. After Noah received information from the crystal ball and understood what he needed to do, Lucia suggested he rest and have a meal. We have prepared a meal for you, Lucia said, to give you energy for the upcoming adventure. Noah followed Lucia to the castle's dining room, which was luxuriously and warmly decorated. The dining table was beautifully set with a variety of delicious-looking foods. Enjoy your meal, Lucia said, and rest well. We need to prepare for this important journey. Noah sat at the dining table and began eating. He felt relaxed and revitalized. Resting and enjoying a good meal was exactly what he needed right now. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 3, Exploring the Garden and Preparing for the Journey. After Noah rested and enjoyed a good meal at the castle, he went out for a walk in the garden to explore and experience the mysterious beauty of the place. The afternoon sun warmed the garden, making it look even more beautiful and vibrant. Noah saw people working in the garden, planting flowers, watering plants, and arranging everything. They worked with dedication and joy. You could see their love for gardening in every action they took. Hello, Noah greeted the people he passed by. This garden seems so lively. Everyone is working so hard. Yes, one of the gardeners replied. This garden is an important part of our lives. We believe that taking care of it not only makes it beautiful, but also helps our minds stay calm and happy. Noah nodded in agreement. He looked at the blooming flowers and the lush green trees. Everything in the garden made him feel peaceful and connected with nature. As Noah walked through the garden, he heard a group of people talking under a large tree. They were discussing recent events in the city. Did you hear the news? One of them asked. There's an invasion threatening various cities. We've heard that powerful creatures are moving this way. Yes, we need to be prepared, another person said. Exploring the cities to find ways to deal with this threat is crucial. We have to do everything we can to protect our homeland. Noah listened attentively. He began to understand the importance of exploring the cities, and why he needed to set out on a journey. He looked at Lucia as she walked closer. Lucia, Noah called. I heard about the invasion. Can you tell me more about it? Lucia looked at Noah with a serious expression. This invasion is significant. It might be the reason cities are facing danger. What kind of danger? Noah asked. How should we prepare? We need to search for hidden things in various cities, Lucia explained. Underground cities, floating cities, and deep-sea cities have important items to help us fight the invasion. We need to gather information about them and find ways to handle the threat. After learning about the invasion, Noah knew that preparing for the journey was crucial. He needed to gather information, prepare equipment, and handle everything before setting out. What should I do to prepare for the journey? Noah asked. Is there anything I need to know or do before we leave? Lucia smiled and said, We will have a meeting to plan the journey and prepare the necessary equipment. I'll guide you on what needs to be done, and we'll get ready for the adventure ahead. Noah nodded in agreement. He felt excited and ready to begin this important journey. He knew it would be full of challenges and adventures, but he was confident he could handle it. Before the meeting started, Lucia took Noah to the dining room to eat and relax. Sharing a meal was a great opportunity to exchange information and prepare for the journey. We've prepared a meal for you, Lucia said. After we finish eating, we'll start the meeting to prepare for the journey. Noah sat at the dining table. He enjoyed the meal and felt relaxed. He was getting ready for the upcoming meeting and the journey ahead. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 4, Revelations and Preparations. The Garden City, renowned for its beauty and the magic that lurks deep in every corner, welcomed Noah and Lucia. They were led to a lavishly decorated dining room. The variety of meticulously prepared dishes were beautifully arranged. The room was filled with the enticing aroma of food, making tonight's meal a memorable experience. As they sat down at the table, Lucia spoke with a serious tone. "Noah, before we start our discussion about the journey, I think you should know about me and my role, as well as the threat looming over our world." Noah nodded and smiled slightly. "I want to know everything you have to share, especially about the danger and how we should handle it." Lucia sighed softly before she began. "I am the guardian of the Garden City, the city we're in right now. I have been entrusted with the important duty of protecting and overseeing a prophecy that has been passed down for centuries. This prophecy came from our city's magical orb, which foretold that one day a hero would travel from another dimension to help us fight the impending danger." Noah listened attentively as Lucia explained the importance of Garden City in their dimension. It wasn't just a place of natural beauty, but also a hub for monitoring potential threats from other dimensions. "I have been directly instructed by the High Guardian, who oversees and protects worlds from threats coming from other dimensions," Lucia said while taking a bite of her food. "The Dimensional Book is a tool created by Elijah, a former guardian who infiltrated the human world. Elijah also received orders from the High Guardian, and these books were created to bridge dimensions, allowing heroes to travel to different dimensions." "Why can the book open dimensions?" Noah asked, intrigued. "These books aren't ordinary," Lucia replied. "They are infused with ancient magic and the power of guardians from each dimension, enabling them to open dimensions. Elijah's role was to prepare these books for the chosen heroes as foretold by the prophecy." Noah nodded, reflecting on what he had heard. "So, this book was created to prepare for the arrival of heroes, right?" "Yes," Lucia confirmed. "This book is a crucial tool for leading us to cities with the necessary information and equipment to combat the invasion. It will open dimensions to places that cannot be accessed by normal means." The meeting and planning session began. After their discussion in the dining room, they moved to a meeting room filled with maps, books, and documents prepared for the journey ahead. Lucia placed the Dimensional Book in the center of the table and opened its first page. "This book can guide us to the cities we need to explore," Lucia explained. "It contains maps and information we need to open dimensions and use its power for interdimensional travel." Noah listened with interest as Lucia detailed how to use the book. "We will use the magic from the magical orb to open dimensions to the cities we need to investigate and find answers to help us deal with the impending threat. When will this journey begin?" Noah asked, his excitement evident as he looked at the book. "Tomorrow morning," Lucia replied. "Tonight, we will prepare and gather the necessary equipment for the journey. Tomorrow, we will open the dimension and start our adventure to the first city we need to explore." Noah felt a surge of excitement as they planned their upcoming journey. The adventure they were about to face, full of unforeseen challenges, was about to begin. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 5, Journey to the Underground City. The next morning, warm sunlight streamed through the conference room window, filling the space with excitement and anticipation. Noah and Lucia quickly prepared to begin their crucial journey. This mission was vital for the future of Garden City and might change their path forever. After checking their equipment and ensuring they were ready, they headed to the Dimensional Book Room, a place filled with mystery and magical energy. Inside, ancient and precious dimensional books lined the shelves. Lucia approached the central table where the book was placed. She opened the book and began reciting the spell. Light from the book grew brighter, forming a ring of energy that gradually expanded to fill the room. The temperature changed, and a sensation of being pulled into something unseen started to emerge. "Noah, get ready," Lucia said as she stepped into the expanding light. "We're opening a dimension to the city we need to explore. Hopefully, our efforts will help us understand and prepare for the challenges ahead. Noah nodded, preparing cautiously. Yes, I'm ready. Let's hope we find what we need. The light from the book intensified rapidly. They felt a powerful shift, and suddenly, they were pulled out of the book room, falling into a cold, dark void. The city before them was an underground metropolis, severely damaged. Buildings lay in ruins, and debris from battles scattered everywhere. The streets and pathways were littered with bricks and remnants of destruction. The atmosphere was silent, filled with a sense of hidden danger. When they regained their senses, they stood in the middle of the ruined underground city. It appeared forgotten and in disrepair. Lucia surveyed the wreckage-strewn city. The damage was extensive. Some areas were covered in thick dust, and some buildings still had smoldering fires. It looks like we've arrived, Lucia said, surveying the devastation. This is an underground city that has been invaded by unknown enemies. The extent of the damage is severe, and we might need to find crucial information here. Noah looked around with concern. It seems like there was a battle here. We need to stay alert and find information as quickly as possible. They started walking along the debris-strewn streets, encountering signs of battle, destroyed buildings, and evidence of past violence. The city seemed abandoned, with an eerie, unsettling silence. We need information from this city, Lucia said, moving through the wreckage. We may need to explore thoroughly and find any survivors if there are any. During their exploration, they encountered ongoing combat. A group of armed soldiers was fighting against what appeared to be a band of raiders. Lucia and Noah were caught off guard and quickly detained by the soldiers. The armed soldiers, looking suspicious and untrusting, interrogated them immediately. Stop! Who are you? One of the soldiers demanded as they were held. We've never seen you before. Why are you here? And why are you in this dangerous area? Lucia tried to explain. We are travelers from another dimension. We came to gather information and help this city. We mean no harm. The soldiers remained skeptical, and the two were taken to a holding area, filled with uncertainty and facing a rigorous interrogation. Tension rose as they needed to prove their innocence in this risky city. While in the cell, they tried to communicate with the soldiers and explain their situation. Noah looked at Lucia with concern. We need to find a way out of here quickly and access the city to gather the information we need. Lucia nodded, examining the holding area. Yes, we need to plan carefully and find a way to make them understand we're here to help. They began planning their escape and finding ways to prove their innocence. They faced challenges and misunderstandings in the underground city, filled with risks and uncertainties. Their adventure was far from over, and the challenges ahead promised to reveal hidden secrets. Their quest for important information and assistance to the city would continue as they faced this daunting journey. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 6, Friendship in the Underground City. The bright light from the wall-mounted lamp cast an unwelcoming glow in the cramped, cold cell, filled with feelings of frustration and anxiety. Noah and Lucia sat on the floor, discussing how to escape and prove their innocence. As they were planning, the sound of soldiers' footsteps echoed into the cell, followed by the creaking of the door opening. The two in the cell turned their heads. They saw a soldier open the door and bring in a woman. She had long, golden hair, a friendly face, and eyes filled with confidence. The soldier placed her in the cell with Noah and Lucia. Despite the uncomfortable situation, the woman appeared calm and assured. Who are you? Noah asked, standing up and looking at the woman. We're here looking for information, but we don't know why we've been imprisoned. The woman smiled at Noah and Lucia. Hello, I'm Irene. I'm here to help. I understand you might be misunderstood, and I can assist you. Lucia eyed Irene with suspicion. How do you know we're not a threat? And what do you know about this city? Irene approached and sat down. I used to be part of a resistance group that fought to protect the underground city from invasion. This city used to thrive, but now it's being destroyed by dark forces seeking to control the hidden power here. Dark forces? Noah asked, intrigued by the new information. What do you mean? Yes, Irene replied. The dark forces we call the enemies of darkness are trying to take control of this city. They want to find a key hidden here, a key essential to accessing a power source that could make them even more powerful. So what do we do? Lucia asked. Do we need to find the key and destroy it to stop them? Exactly, Irene said. The key is hidden in the underground city, and finding it won't be easy. The city is full of traps and defenses that are hard to overcome. But if we work together, we have a chance to find and destroy the key. Noah and Lucia looked at each other, understanding the importance of this mission. They decided to join forces with Irene and find a way out of the cell to start the search for the key. They began planning their escape, using the information Irene provided to find a way into the area where the key was hidden. We need to take time to assess the situation, Lucia said, and find a way to escape from here. We must ensure we don't get captured again and get into the city to find the key. I have a map that can guide us to the key's hiding place, Irene added, but it will require caution, and we must be prepared to face any enemies we might encounter along the way. As they prepared, Irene began showing them the important map, marked with symbols and directions to the key's hiding place. Meanwhile, they would face challenges from complex security measures and hidden traps throughout the city. We need to go to the storage room with strict security, Irene explained. Then we'll have to find the key and destroy it at a location with dark power. We must be careful not to get caught by the enemies. The planning began. Noah, Lucia, and Irene got ready to escape from the cell. They needed to use their skills and abilities to handle difficult situations and thwart the enemy's plans to control the underground city. Their journey would be filled with obstacles and challenges, and they would need to fight to protect the city and stop the dark forces from taking over. As they planned and prepared, a sense of friendship and cooperation began to develop among them. Their unity in this fight would be crucial to saving the underground city. Finding the key and destroying the dark power would be their mission to face head-on. This test would prove their bravery and commitment. The journey through the underground city, filled with challenges and risks, would reveal important secrets about the key and the dark forces that needed to be stopped. Their cooperation and confrontation with enemies would determine the future of the underground city and the fight for good. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 7, Discovering the Key and New Allies. The light from the electric lanterns hanging from the ceiling reflected off the rough stone floor of the underground city. Noah, Lucia, and Irene walked through the dark corridors. They followed the map that Irene had provided and tried to avoid the traps around them. They arrived at a tightly sealed door, which was the crucial entrance they needed to reach the room where the key was hidden. This is the door we saw on the map, Irene said. We need to find a way to open it, and be cautious. There might be traps here. Noah approached the door. He noticed cracks, and that the door was locked. Lucia used her tools to help unlock the door. Soon, the door opened, revealing a room bathed in golden light. Inside the room, the key rested on a stone pedestal, emitting a golden glow. It was a simple-looking key, but the power it radiated was significant. Noah and Lucia moved closer while Irene stood guard outside. Meanwhile, they heard approaching footsteps. Be careful, Irene warned. It sounds like someone is coming. The footsteps grew louder. The room's door closed quickly, and a group of armored soldiers entered. The soldiers looked at Noah, Lucia, and Irene with suspicion, and it seemed they had plans to capture them. Stop right there, one of the soldiers shouted. You shouldn't be here. We need to arrest you. As the tension rose, Irene raised her hand and spoke confidently. "We are not here to cause harm, but to help the underground city from the Dark Power invasion. We need to meet the city's ruler." The soldiers hesitated but, after hearing Irene's words, decided to take the group to meet the ruler. They were led into a large, beautifully decorated room filled with peace and quiet. The underground city's ruler, a strong-looking man with a stern face, sat at a table made of black stone. The soldiers led them to seats across from the ruler. "Welcome to the underground city," the ruler said. "I am Tylus, the ruler here. We have received information about the invasion and the key you have. Please explain why you are here and your intentions." "Thank you for receiving us," Noah began. "We are here to stop the Dark Power threatening your city. We need to destroy this key to prevent them from controlling the hidden power here." Tylus looked at the key. "We know about the invasion. We never expected them to reach our city. The Dark Power you mentioned is Soleus, and his right-hand minion is Siren. He is the central force of the Dark Power, controlling other cities. He wants to rule all dimensions and control the world. To stop him, we need to find all 3 keys. This is only one of them. Where are the other 2 keys?" Lucia asked. "What should we do to find them?" "You must go to the floating city and the undersea city," Tylus explained. "The other 2 keys are hidden there. The floating city is a city in the sky, difficult to reach and full of secrets. The undersea city is beneath the deep sea, requiring special knowledge to access. You need to find all 3 keys and destroy them together. It is the only way to prevent Siren from using uncontrollable power." "Which should we visit first?" Noah asked. "The floating city or the undersea city?" "The floating city should be your starting point," Tylus said. "We have information about the entrance to the floating city in our library. We will take you there to find the necessary spellbook. It will help you locate and reveal the entrance to the floating city." After the discussion ended, Tylus took them to a large, ancient library filled with valuable books and scrolls. Tylus picked out a golden-covered spellbook from the shelf and opened it. "This book will help you find the entrance to the floating city," Tylus said. "We will explain how to use the magic to reveal the entrance and prepare for your new journey." Noah, Lucia, and Irene began studying the book intently. They needed to learn the magic to access the floating city and prepare for the upcoming adventure. The floating city and the undersea city were challenging and full of secrets. Finding the remaining keys was a crucial step in stopping Siren and the Dark Power. When they were ready, Tylus took them to a place where they could begin their journey to the floating city. Their adventure in a world full of secrets and battles continued, as finding the remaining keys and working with new allies would determine the course of their journey. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 8, Floating City. When Noah, Lucia, and Irene arrived in the floating city, they were awestruck by its beauty and modernity. The city floated high in the air, creating a futuristic atmosphere. Towering buildings made of translucent materials, silent flying vehicles gliding smoothly, and skybridges connecting the structures greeted them. "Wow, it feels like we've stepped into the future," Lucia said, her eyes wide with amazement. "This city really floats in the air." "Yeah, the technology here is incredible," Noah replied, looking around with excitement. "Everything seems so sleek and advanced." Irene gazed at the flying vehicles soaring above. "Look at those flying vehicles. They can travel so fast and make almost no noise." They walked along the sky streets, observing people using the flying vehicles. It felt like being in a futuristic city brimming with innovation. "We see military forces ahead," Noah pointed out. "It looks like there's a battle happening." As they approached, they encountered a skirmish between the floating city's military forces and a Dark Power group. The city's soldiers used advanced technology and magical attacks in the fight. What can we do to help? Lucia asked, watching the battle unfold. We need to get closer and speak with the military leader, Noah suggested. He might have important information for us. After the battle ended, they met the head of the military forces, who stood among the debris of the battlefield. Thank you for coming to assist us, the military leader said. I'm Caleb, the head of the Floating Cities forces. What brings you here? We've heard about a key hidden in this city, Noah explained. We want to help protect the city from further attacks. If you can give us information about the key and how to find it, we'd be grateful. We could use all the help we can get, Caleb said. If you need more information, I can take you to our research center. We have documents and data that might be useful. Thank you, Lucia replied. We'd be happy to accept any assistance. Caleb led them to the city's research center, a place filled with advanced technology and crucial documents. They saw cutting-edge tools and equipment, and the modern design impressed them. Here we have information about the attacks and the key, Caleb said. We'll provide the details you need and help you find the key. Thanks a lot, Noah said. We'll start searching for the information and prepare for our next journey. Exploring the research center and the city library will be essential for preparing to travel to the underwater city and facing the challenges that lie ahead. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 9, The Command Center of the Floating City. Caleb led Noah, Lucia, and Irene to the command center of the floating city. The building stood tall amidst the sky, modern and shimmering with the light reflected from its wings. Its complex design featured cutting-edge technology, such as advanced defense systems and management tools. This is the command center, Caleb said. This is where we control everything in the city. Follow me, and I'll take you to the chief. They entered the building, walking through spacious hallways. The interior was filled with glass walls and modern equipment. Staff members worked around them, and an advanced automation system kept personnel movements orderly. The chief is in the main conference room. Caleb guided them to a room with a long table and a large display screen. I'll introduce you. When they reached the conference room, the chief of the floating city, named Ryan, stood at the table. He was a middle-aged man with an air of dignity, a friendly and experienced face. He wore a modern uniform with the city's emblem. Hello, Chief Ryan, Caleb said. These are the guests I wanted to introduce, Noah, Lucia, and Irene. Nice to meet you, Chief Ryan said. Welcome to our command center. I've been informed of your arrival. We need information about the attacks and the key hidden in your city, Noah began. We also need help finding the key. We are facing a challenging situation, Chief Ryan said. Our city is under attack by dark forces, and these attacks have forced us to prepare for a full-scale defense. Can you tell us about the situation and the plans you're using to handle it? Lucia asked. We need all the information you can provide. Of course, Chief Ryan replied. We have city defense measures using advanced technology, but the dark forces are powerful and difficult to handle. Their attacks come in waves, and we need reinforcements and new strategies for the battle. We have information about the key, Chief Ryan continued. The keys are crucial for us to find. Collecting all the keys will help us destroy the dark power. We need a map or any related information on locating the key, Noah said. And we need to prepare for our journey. We have a research center that can provide the information you need, Chief Ryan said. It has documents and details about the keys and the attacks. Caleb will take you there for more information. Thank you very much, Lucia said. We will prepare for the journey and gather information as quickly as possible. Caleb took them to the city's research center, which was filled with documents, maps, and relevant information, along with modern laboratories and analysis tools. This is the research center, Caleb said. You can find information about the keys, defense plans, and new technologies we are developing. We'll start searching immediately, Noah said. Thank you for your assistance. They began searching the documents and information available at the research center. Irene helped analyze the data. The information obtained from the research center would be crucial for preparing for their journey to the underwater city and planning their search for the key. This data would also be helpful in preparing for the confrontation with the dark forces. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 10, The Discovery of the Second Key. On a new morning, Noah, Lucia, and Irene received modern weapons from the Floating City Command Center. The weapons include high-precision laser guns and quantum energy weapons capable of firing destructive energy blasts. These weapons will help you protect yourselves, Caleb says. And this is a quantum energy weapon. Please use it carefully. Thank you, Noah replies, taking the weapons from Caleb. We need to head to the research center quickly. The dark power attack could happen at any moment. After receiving the weapons, they board a ship designed for safety and high speed. The journey is comfortable and fast, with the ship equipped with cloaking systems to protect against dark power attacks. We'll reach the research center soon, Caleb says. But we must stay alert. An attack could occur at any time. During the journey, alarm signals start blaring. Concern builds among everyone as they see the shadow of a dark power attack approaching. They find that the research center is under heavy attack, with explosions and fighting occurring all around. The sounds of battle and explosions fill the air. We need to get inside, Noah says. We must find the necessary information as quickly as possible. They disembark from the ship and find the research center in chaos. The once calm and orderly building is now in disarray. We need to find information about the remaining key as fast as we can, Caleb says. Be careful. Let's get into the research center, Noah says. We need to find the second key. They enter the building, navigating through the chaos of attacks and explosions from the ongoing battle outside. Inside the research center, they find laboratories and computers in turmoil. The center's security systems are in disarray due to the attack. The information we need should be here, Lucia says. But it seems the attack is causing us problems. They start searching every room in the research center. Lucia and Noah work together to find the necessary information, using the computers and documents available. While they search, Irene is attacked by a group of dark power forces. Watch out! Irene shouts as she sees the attack coming and uses all her strength to protect them. She fires the quantum energy weapon, creating powerful energy blasts that drive the enemies away. Go ahead, Irene says. I'll handle them. You need to get out. We can't leave you here, Noah says. But we have to complete the mission. Irene uses all her strength to protect them. The attacks from the dark power forces intensify. She is hit with bullets and powerful energy, resulting in severe injuries. Good luck, she says before collapsing and eventually passing away. Thank you, Irene, Lucia says, tears in her eyes. We will never forget you. After the fierce battle, Noah and Lucia find a secret room hidden in the research center. The room has a mysterious atmosphere and is filled with ancient magical texts. Lucia discovers a magic book with a cover featuring special symbols and ancient writing. She picks it up and begins reading the ancient text on the cover. It looks like there are directions to reveal the secrets, Lucia says. She reads the ancient text and the spell written on the book cover. When she opens the book, they find a shape of a key inside. This is the key we need, Noah says. We must return to the command center and plan our journey to the underwater city. They return to the command center with heavy hearts, mourning Irene's sacrifice. We must honor her sacrifice, Caleb says. Now we need to prepare for the journey to the underwater city. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 11, The Descent into the Undersea City. With the two keys in hand, one from the underground city and the other from the floating city, the team now faced the task of finding the third key, hidden within the undersea city. The journey to the underwater world began with excitement. The ship released energy waves, pushing the water away in a wide radius, allowing them to descend into the depths without the need for magic. Caleb, Noah, and Lucia sat together inside the ship, feeling the shift in energy as they dove deeper. "The journey won't take long," Caleb said, "but we must stay alert. Dark forces may be aware of our approach, and they'll be ready to stop us." As the ship descended, the atmosphere inside changed. Darkness and water surrounded them as the undersea world revealed its mysteries. The team could see advanced technologies that had evolved in this hidden world. "We're getting close to the undersea city," Caleb said. "Get ready." Suddenly, alarms blared inside the ship. The energy around them became unstable. "Something's wrong," Noah shouted. "We're under attack." Before they could react, the ship was hit by forces hiding within the depths. Explosions rocked the ship. Water began flooding in. "They've breached the hull," Lucia cried, panic rising in her voice. Water quickly poured in. The ship was sinking fast, and the controls were malfunctioning. "We have to get out now," Caleb yelled. They quickly opened the emergency hatch and escaped the sinking vessel. As they swam towards the city, the ship exploded behind them, sending bubbles and debris swirling through the water. "Hurry! Get to the city," Caleb urged. "We need to find shelter." They swam towards the undersea city, protected by a large dome that kept the water and the dark forces at bay. Inside the dome, they could breathe fresh air again. The atmosphere was calm, but tension still lingered in the air. "Let's head into the city," Caleb said. "We'll be safe for now, but we need to find a way to deal with the dark forces." The undersea city was a marvel of mystery and technology. Streets glowed with soft lights, and buildings were made from materials unlike anything on the surface world. They could see people living peacefully, although the air was filled with a sense of unease. "We need to find information about the third key," Noah said, "and prepare ourselves for whatever challenges lie ahead." As they explored the city, they sensed the tension building. They soon discovered that the third key was hidden in the depths of the city, and they would have to face difficult trials to retrieve it. "We need to find a way into the deeper parts of the city," Caleb said, "and we must be ready for whatever dark forces might still be lurking here." They knew this journey would be far from easy. They prepared themselves for the challenges ahead, knowing that the descent into the undersea world was just the beginning of their search for the third key, and a confrontation with powerful enemies. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 12, Revelation and Preparation. King Aldrich, ruler of the underwater kingdom, summoned Noah, Lucia, and Caleb to his private meeting room in the palace. The room was elegantly decorated, designed for important discussions. Soft light from sea lanterns cast a magical glow, adding to the room's grandeur. As the three entered, King Aldrich greeted them with a warm smile, but his face remained serious. "I've called you here to reveal important information from the prophetic pearl," he said, his voice steady. "I know you're here to collect the keys, but new information has surfaced that may alter your plans." Noah, Lucia, and Caleb sat down, their attention fully on the king. He began, "The prophetic pearl has shown that you must collect 3 keys from the underground city, the sky city, and the underwater kingdom. However, the latest revelation tells us that there is not just 3 keys." The king paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. "There are 4. "There's a 4th key?" Lucia asked, her voice filled with surprise. "But we thought we only needed 3. King Aldrich nodded. "Yes. The fourth key is in the hands of Zorias, the ruler of the dark power. You will need to prepare yourselves for a much greater battle than we anticipated. Noah leaned forward, determination in his voice. Why do we need to destroy all four keys? Can't we just take them one by one? The king explained patiently. Each key holds a fragment of Zoria's soul. These keys are the source of his power, allowing him to revive himself. Destroying all four keys simultaneously is the only way to erase his soul and eliminate his dark magic forever. Zorias plans to use the power of the four keys to conquer the three major cities. The king continued, his tone grave. If we don't destroy them all, he will spread his influence across the entire world and beyond to other dimensions. Caleb raised a concern. Once we gather all the keys, do we have a plan to destroy them? King Aldrich replied. Your first task is to find the fourth key, which Zorias guards closely. We can't destroy the keys immediately. They must all be gathered before we attempt any final action. Zorias is incredibly powerful, the king warned. Facing him will require not just strength, but careful strategy. You must be prepared for a battle unlike any you've fought before. The three companions exchanged determined glances. We'll gather all four keys and prepare for the final fight, Noah said confidently. We'll plan the destruction once we have them. King Aldrich smiled, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. I trust in your courage and skill. The fate of the world rests on your shoulders. The meeting ended with a sense of urgency and determination. Noah, Lucia, and Caleb left the room, knowing they had to work together to gather the keys and destroy Zoria's dark reign, once and for all. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 13, The Volcano City of Zorias. After receiving the news from the king of the undersea city, Noah, Lucia, and Caleb immediately began planning. They gathered around a large, shell-carved table in the grand hall. The king of the undersea city sat before them, his gaze steady and serious. Zorias is hidden in the most dangerous place, the king said, his voice cold but filled with concern. It's a volcano city surrounded by searing lava. The only way in is by crossing a stone bridge over the lava river. But be warned, it's not a safe bridge. Noah sat in silence, thinking about what he had heard. He turned to his companions, Lucia and Caleb, both of whom wore equally tense expressions. Lucia spoke up immediately. We really have to go, right? I mean, a volcano? Hot lava. That's not exactly a walk in the park. Yes, Noah replied decisively. We have no choice if we want to get the fourth key. The king nodded in agreement, and then took out an ancient map. It was engraved with mysterious symbols that depicted a strange landscape. This is the map to the volcano city. You'll need it for your journey. But remember, every step you take will be fraught with obstacles, heat, erupting lava, and of course Zorias, who will guard his key. Caleb, usually the quietest of the group, spoke up with concern. What if we encounter traps? Zorias won't let us through easily. The king gave a slight smile. Yes, I'm sure he's prepared everything. But remember, your powers will grow in difficult situations. You must believe in yourselves. Noah looked at his two friends. Are we ready to go? Lucia sighed. You want me to say no, don't you? Well, let's go. Their journey began as they left the undersea city. The atmosphere changed immediately. The heat began to dry out the air, and the rising steam made it hard to breathe. Why is it so hot? Lucia complained, fanning her face. We've just started. It will get hotter as we approach the volcano, Caleb replied, looking ahead. If we can't handle it now, we won't make it. Don't make it sound too grim, Noah said calmly. We need to focus on the map the king gave us. Everything we need is here. They traveled through a barren landscape. Once fertile land had turned into sharp volcanic rock. The path was narrow and winding. As they continued, the ground started to crack, emitting steam at intervals. The sound of boiling lava beneath them echoed in the background. "It's getting scarier," Lucia said softly, looking around. "I never thought we'd be walking over lava like this." "It's not over yet," Noah replied as they reached the stone bridge the king mentioned. It was narrow and stretched over the bubbling lava river, flames occasionally leaping from the river below, creating intense pressure. "Look at that! The stone bridge, that's what we need to cross?" Caleb said, trying to hide his anxiety. "Yes, and we need to be very careful," Noah said, eyeing the winding bridge. "It's not just about crossing. We need to avoid the flames, too." "Of course it's not easy," Lucia said quietly, looking at both of them. "So what are we waiting for?" Crossing the bridge was challenging. Every step had to be taken carefully. The roaring lava below made them nervous. Whenever flame shot up, they had to jump quickly. The hot wind made breathing difficult. They had to hold their breath as they moved. When they finally crossed the bridge, they arrived at a large cliff. The narrow, steep path made climbing up difficult. From the top of the cliff, they could see the red glow of lava erupting from the volcano's mouth. "That must be Soria's home," Caleb said, wiping sweat from his brow. "We're getting closer," Noah said. "But stay alert. We don't know what form Sorius will take." "I have a feeling he won't welcome us warmly," Lucia said with a small smile, though her eyes were full of worry. The volcano city of Sorius was perched atop a mountain surrounded by lava. Everything in the city seemed to be built from strong, hot volcanic rock. Tall buildings were made of floating rock fragments from the lava below. The constant rumble of the volcano made it seem like nature was ready to erupt at any moment. "This place feels like a forgotten world," Lucia said softly. "It's as if Sorius built this city to keep everyone away." "There's no doubt about it," Noah said. "He doesn't want anyone to take his key. So we need to find a way into the city," Caleb said, searching for an entrance hidden in the dark shadows of the volcanic rock. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 14, The Infiltration of Mount Sorius. Mount Sorius, a volcanic city, sits atop a peak shrouded in smoke and lava. As they make their way, flames flicker intermittently, creating an atmosphere of intense heat and challenge. Noah, Lucia, and Caleb must conceal their presence as much as possible, being cautious to avoid detection by the Sorius guards. "We need to find a way into the fortress without being seen," Noah said, pausing to look at the city's structure made of lava rock. "Is there an entrance or a way to sneak in?" Lucia asked, scanning for possibilities. "We need to avoid detection and find the key's hiding place," Caleb replied. "According to the map the king gave us, the key is hidden in a secret room with high security." They explored the city, eventually finding a path leading to the fortress, which was heavily guarded. Noah noticed the volcanic soldiers patrolling the corridors, and cameras set up to capture any movement. They decided to avoid detection by using shadowed areas and moving stealthily. They sneaked into a zone away from the soldiers' sight. Noah used his stealth abilities, Lucia conjured a smoke screen for cover, and Caleb monitored their escape route. They proceeded to the secret room marked on the map. The room was small and made of lava rock. Access required navigating through traps and complex puzzles. They had to solve riddles hidden in ancient symbols on the walls. These symbols glowed in a specific sequence, and they had to press them in the correct order to open the door. "Be careful," Noah warned. "Pressing the wrong symbol might trigger a trap." They worked together carefully to press the symbols in the right sequence. The symbols began to glow, and the door opened to reveal a room with a large throne. On the throne was a golden plate that seemed to hold the key, but access was not easy. The area around it was filled with flowing lava and moving hot rocks, with intricate defenses requiring careful maneuvering. This is the key's hiding place, Noah said, looking at the key inside a lava cage. With caution, they used their tools to open the lava cage. After a difficult effort, they successfully retrieved the key. We need to leave quickly, Caleb said. It's not safe here. They hurried out of the secret room, retracing their steps to avoid detection. Despite encountering obstacles and increased surveillance, they managed to return to the city's entrance. We did it, Noah said, smiling with relief. We have the key now. They returned to their safe spot with the key in hand. The infiltration of Mount Sorius and evading detection was a success, but they still needed to prepare for the challenging tests ahead in their adventure. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 15, The Movements of Soleus. In the darkened hall of the volcanic fortress, the glow from the deep, molten lava seeping through the stone floor illuminated the throne at the center of the room. Soleus, the volcanic lord, sat on the throne with a cold demeanor. His eyes were bright red, like flames, and in his hands he held dark magical energy swirling around him. The silence was broken when the door creaked open. Siren, Soleus' right-hand man, entered quickly, his face showing panic. Master, I have an urgent report, Siren said, catching his breath, clearly having rushed back from a mission. Soleus narrowed his eyes at his subordinate with displeasure. Speak! Don't tell me it's about the key! His voice was icy, and his glowing red eyes fixed on Siren with meaning. Siren swallowed hard. He knew that bringing bad news to Soleus might not end well. Yes, master, the key is missing. Instead of words, Soleus emitted a dark magical energy that spread from him. The once peaceful hall was suddenly engulfed in a storm of dark magic. The flames beneath the ground roared, and dark energy flowed uncontrollably from Soleus. Siren stepped back cautiously, trying to avoid the spreading power. Who stole it? Soleus roared, his eyes blazing with anger. His body began to tremble with the power surrounding him. It was a group of adventurers we were keeping an eye on. They sneaked into the volcanic city and took the key from the hidden chamber, Siren explained, gathering the courage to tell Soleus the truth. We tried to track them down, but they disappeared quickly. Soleus paused for a moment before taking a deep breath, slightly calming his rage. However, his eyes still burned with determination. He rose from the throne and approached Siren. Don't you know that the key has special powers? It not only opens the path to the ancient power, but also connects to my soul, Soleus said quietly, but his words echoed through the hall. They must think destroying the key will destroy me, but they don't know the key is only one of 4 parts. Siren nodded quickly. I'll order the army to prepare for an attack on the related city immediately, especially the underwater city. I'm sure they are hiding there. Soleus returned to his throne. Good. I will grant you power for this attack, Siren. Lead the entire demon army to attack the underwater city. Destroy everything in your path, and don't let anyone escape. As Soleus' demon army prepared, the once peaceful underwater city faced devastation. The sky, once bright with stars, was now covered in dark clouds. Dark magical energy surrounded the city. The soldiers of the underwater city were shocked to see the massive demon army marching in from the north, their roars echoing everywhere. Siren's army was made up of demons created by Soleus from dark magic. They were tall, some with sharp fangs and huge wings, others with claws and spiked armor capable of destroying the city in an instant. Siren stood on a hill, watching the attack with a cold demeanor. This city will be mine, Siren said quietly but firmly. Explosions rocked the city as demons attacked from both land and sea. The soldiers of the underwater city fought desperately to protect their home, but the power of the demons was overwhelming. Many soldiers fell, and the rest were forced to retreat quickly. They're stronger than we expected, one of the soldiers said as he tried to fall back to the base. We need to find a way to resist them. As everything seemed hopeless, Noah, Lucia, and Caleb, having heard about the attack from the king of the underwater city, rushed to offer their help. Noah stood on a hill, watching the destruction with angry eyes. "We are too late," Noah said quietly, but his voice was filled with pain. "But we're not defeated yet," Lucia replied. "We still have a chance to save this city." Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 16, Assistance from Two Cities. Tyles, the ruler of the underground city, and Ryan, the leader of the floating city, received an urgent plea for help from King Alveric, the ruler of the underwater city. Tyles, in his office deep beneath the earth, felt a wave of tension as news arrived from King Alveric. The underwater city was under attack by demons, and chaos was evident on his large screen. Tyles examined the data and images from the surveillance. "The underwater city is in serious danger," Tyles said, his voice tense. "We must assist them as quickly as possible." He turned to his assistant in the control room. "Prepare our forces and resources," he ordered. "Send word to the floating city to coordinate our efforts. We cannot let the underwater city fall." In the floating city, Ryan was receiving information from King Alveric through the Advanced Communication Network. Ryan stood in a high-tech control room, equipped with tools to monitor the situation in the underwater city clearly. "The situation is dire," Ryan said, looking at the maps and data on the screens. "We need to send support to the underwater city. We must use both our technology and magic to help." He turned to the military commander of the floating city. "Prepare for immediate deployment of troops and weapons," Ryan directed. "We need everything ready within the hour. We can't wait. Have our magic team provide additional support." Both cities began preparations to offer assistance. The underground city readied its troops and vital resources for deployment to the underwater city, while the floating city assembled advanced weaponry and magic to support the battle. When Tyles and Ryan had their forces and weapons ready, both cities sent their troops to the underwater city. The underwater city continued to face heavy attacks from a large demonic army. The assault caused severe damage and chaos, with explosions and mystical attacks from the demons. As reinforcements from the underground and floating cities arrived, the situation began to change. The underground city's forces, equipped with advanced technology, started using plasma guns, laser rifles, and energy-based explosive launchers. The plasma guns fired high-energy projectiles, while the laser rifles emitted intense heat and pressure. The energy launchers created waves of power to destroy demons over a wide area. The floating city used airships to quickly transport troops and weapons. These airships had advanced defense systems and could attack from a distance. The city also deployed quantum guns, which broke down barriers and enemies at an atomic level. Electromagnetic rifles attracted and compressed, creating powerful explosions. Additionally, quantum drones provided surveillance and long-range attacks. The floating city's magic team cast energy storms and protective shields to counter the demons. The underground and floating cities worked together to establish defensive lines and continuous assaults. This coordination was crucial in improving the battle situation. The underground forces handled close-range attacks, while the floating city provided long-range support with its technology. The battle remained challenging, but the combined efforts of the allies from the floating and underground cities offered new hope. They were determined to continue fighting, using their powers and abilities to end the attacks and protect the underwater city from destruction. The fight continued, and the future of the underwater city depended on the allies' ability to work together and manage the demonic assault. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 17, The Fall of Siren. Siren, the right hand of Soleus, unleashed his dark powers and magic upon the allies, causing severe damage with his attacks. Siren's assault * Siren conjured dark shadows and rapid attacks, spreading darkness across the area. The soldiers and mages of the Alliance felt the rising tension as the darkness enveloped them. Counterattack * the soldiers and mages began to retaliate, using plasma guns, laser rifles, and water magic to dispel the darkness created by Siren. "Plasma guns, prepare to fire," ordered the underground soldier. The blasts began to dissolve the encroaching darkness. Battle between Tylus and Siren * Tylus faced Siren directly as the battle intensified. Tylus wielded plasma guns and laser rifles against Siren. "Fire!" Tylus shouted. The plasma and laser attacks started to pierce through Siren's darkness. Ryan battle * Ryan, from the floating city, called for the airship to strike Siren from the skies. "Fire the quantum guns!" Ryan commanded. The quantum guns engaged, their intense beams causing Siren to wince in pain. Underwater King's power * King Aldrich used water magic to attack Siren. Creating barriers and water waves helped shield against Siren's attacks. "Water power ready!" commanded King Aldrich. The water waves began to erode Siren's darkness. Siren's fall * After a series of intense attacks from the Allies, Siren started to suffer injuries and eventually fell. Final assault * The combined attacks from the underground soldiers, the airship, and water magic united to overwhelm Siren. The relentless assault caused Siren to lose strength. The end of Siren * Siren attempted to fight back, but the fierce attacks from the Allies drained his energy. He fell to the ground in darkness, crying out in agony, "No! I will not surrender!" Ultimately, he collapsed, consumed by the darkness. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 18, The Mission to Destroy the Four Keys. The sky was dark and covered with thick black clouds, floating low over the peaks of the Shadow Mountain. The atmosphere around was chilling, with only the sound of wind rushing through the mysterious volcano ahead. The heat from the lava, slowly spewing from the volcano's vents, created a sense of dread and mystique like never before. Noah, Lucia, and Caleb, the three heroes, had returned to the volcanic city once more. After their allies had been battling the Saurius army, they believed that returning to the origin of the keys would be the best place to destroy all four. They stood at the entrance of the volcano, preparing for the most dangerous mission of their lives. "This is the beginning of the end," Noah said, his dark eyes scanning the dark passageway that stretched into the heart of the mountain. "We must destroy all four keys," Lucia said, pulling out the ancient map she had received from the sorcerer. She whispered softly, "We need to follow this path." She pointed to the route on the map, which was filled with traps and obstacles. "Are you ready?" Caleb asked, checking his weapons and preparing for any potential combat. The three of them stepped onto the ash-covered stone path, each step taken with caution. The volcano was filled with the smell of sulfur and the heat emanating from the lava flowing beneath. The red glow of the lava barely illuminated their path. "It's too quiet," Lucia whispered, her ears alert for any unusual sounds. Noah nodded. "The enemy might be hiding in the shadows. We need to stay vigilant," he said, his eyes scanning for any signs of movement. They walked through a hall filled with crumbling rocks and debris, remnants of battles fought here thousands of years ago. "The spirit of Saurius is trapped in these keys," Caleb said, his voice filled with determination. "If we destroy the keys, his spirit will be gone forever." As they moved deeper into the volcano, the path grew narrower, and the heat intensified. They faced traps designed to prevent anyone from reaching the keys. "Look out!" Lucia pointed to the ground, where iron traps were hidden beneath the ash. "If we step wrong, we won't survive," she said. Noah led the way cautiously, tapping his sword on the ground to check for traps. "We're getting close," Noah said, his breath growing heavier with the increasing heat. They stopped before a large stone door etched with ancient symbols. "This must be where the keys are destroyed," Caleb said, his eyes locked on the door. "We need to open this." As they opened the door, a vast chamber filled with deep red flames greeted them. The 4 keys Noah had been carrying floated out from him, drifting to the center of the chamber, glowing mysteriously. "This is it," Lucia said, feeling a chill as she approached the keys. "But how do we destroy them?" Caleb asked. "These keys were created with ancient magic. They can't be destroyed with ordinary weapons." Lucia pulled out the ancient book she had brought along and opened it to the page with the spell to destroy the keys. "We need to use the power of the 4 elements to destroy them," she said. "Water, fire, wind, and earth." "Then we're ready," Noah said, standing before the first key. Lucia began chanting the spell, and the powers of the 4 elements began to converge. A beam of light shot from Lucia's hands, striking the first key. A loud cry echoed as the first key was destroyed. They moved on to the second key. "Watch out!" Caleb shouted as black flames erupted from the walls, trying to hinder them. Noah rushed forward, using his sword to fend off the flames. "Hurry! We need to destroy the other 3 keys before it recovers." With the second and third keys destroyed, the ground began to tremble, and the roar of Sorius filled the air from all directions. "You cannot stop me! I will resurrect and claim everything!" His voice was filled with fury. "Only 1 key left," Caleb said firmly. They approached the last key, which glowed a deep red as if aware of its impending destruction. "Get ready," Lucia said, beginning the final chant. As the spell was completed, a beam of light struck the last key, shattering it into dust. At the same moment, Sorius's form began to disintegrate. His voice grew faint. "No! No! I will not lose!" His form shattered into pieces and vanished into the wind. With Sorius gone, the demon army that had surrounded the volcano and the battlefield began to dissipate along with him. Everything created from Sorius's power was also destroyed. The ground stopped shaking, and silence covered the battlefield. They had succeeded in destroying the keys and freeing the world from Sorius's threat. As the darkness of the volcano faded, sunlight began to shine through. Noah, Lucia, and Caleb stood at the entrance of the volcano, looking at the landscape that had once been filled with ash and death, now restored to peace. "We did it," Lucia said, a smile beginning to appear on her face. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 19, Farewell. The soft morning sunlight spread across the horizon. The once battle-scarred forest and wide meadows, now peaceful again, were filled with the lively songs of birds. Noah, Lucia, and Caleb stood together, taking in the tranquility. The sky above the once war-torn wasteland was calm once more. Soft sunlight filtered through the tall trees. The birds, which had fled during the war, were singing again. The ground still bore signs of recent battles, but now everything seemed to have settled. Noah stood in the center, his heart full of mixed feelings, relief and sorrow. He looked at Lucia and Caleb, who stood beside him, exchanging understanding glances. They had endured suffering and obstacles together many times, not just in this battle, but through every adventure and mission. Lucia gazed up at the sky, her eyes sparkling with hope, yet tinged with sadness at the farewell. She stepped closer to Noah and spoke softly but clearly. "We did it, Noah. We stopped Sorius. Everything we've been through together means something." Noah turned to her and smiled. "Yes, it really does mean something. But now, it's time for us to part ways and follow our own paths." Caleb stood quietly, his gray eyes staring at the distant horizon. He spoke up. "It's hard to believe that it's all over. This adventure has helped us grow together, not just as comrades, but as family." Lucia smiled through her tears. "Yes, A family I never expected to find on this journey. They walked to the top of the hill, overlooking the cities they had once protected. The sunlight reflected off the rooftops of the floating city of Ryan, the underground city of Tylos below them, and the distant sea, home to the underwater city of King Aldrich. A gentle breeze swept through, bringing a moment of reflection. Noah took a small coin from his pocket. It was a token of memory from the beginning of their adventure. He looked at it before handing it to Lucia. "Here, keep this as a reminder of what we once shared." Lucia accepted the coin, tears she had been holding back flowing quietly. She held it tightly. "Thank you, Noah. I won't forget you." They fell silent again. Noah looked at each of them with a gaze full of farewell. "It's time for us to part ways. But these memories will always stay with us." Lucia smiled and nodded. "Yes, they will stay with us forever." Caleb bowed his head slightly before speaking. "I hope we meet again, no matter where fate takes us." Lucia hugged Noah tightly one last time before turning to embrace Caleb as well. "Take care of yourself." Noah stepped forward, looking out at the distant horizon, and said in a low but firm voice, "Let's go! It's time for us to start a new journey." After their farewells, Noah, Lucia, and Caleb each walked their own path. Though their paths were different, the memories and bond they shared would last forever. When the time came, Noah smiled slightly and reached into his cloak. He pulled out an old, dusty book. It was the book he had carried throughout their adventure. This book was not just any book. It had special powers to traverse dimensions. "This is my way back," Noah said as he opened the book. A gentle breeze blew across his face, and the pages turned with an invisible force. As the last page turned, a bright light burst from the book, enveloping Noah. "Goodbye, everyone," Noah said with a gentle smile. Then he vanished into the light, leaving only silence and the memories of their adventures behind. Mysterious Bookstore, Episode 20, Going Home, the final chapter. In the blink of an eye, Noah's body was pulled, swirling back into the book. He felt his body moving at high speed before he opened his eyes again and found himself standing in the mysterious bookstore he had first entered. "Welcome back," the bookstore owner's voice rang out from behind. Noah turned to see the owner still standing in the same spot as when they first met. "I'm back," Noah replied with a smile. He felt that his journey in the world of secrets had transformed him, making him a new person, filled with experiences and courage he had never had before. "This book has special powers, doesn't it?" Noah asked with a smile. The owner nodded quietly before speaking. "It is a book that can lead readers to adventures they never expected. But it all depends on their own bravery and belief." Noah put the book into his bag, knowing that it remained a part of his life. He might return to it in the future if he sought new adventures. As he stepped out of the bookstore, the sunlight on his body made Noah feel a sense of freedom and happiness. The street, which once seemed empty, now appeared vibrant and full of meaning. Noah looked back at the bookstore he had just left. But as he stepped out of the alley and turned around, the mysterious bookstore had vanished, leaving only memories and a mystery that would follow him for the rest of his life.